Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Welcome you all again. So today, as we discuss in my notice or the in the schedule for today's class is, because this month is the Gita Jayanti month, and we all, I think, got opportunity to at least revisit or revise or read entire Bhagavad Gita. In many places, I think in the temple also we are having the yagnas and things, and I will encourage everyone to go to the temple and within front of the yagnas, please recite all 700 shlokas. So that is the one of the activity. But today in our class, because we read multiple times this Bhagavad Gita and refers in our classes also, in when reading the Bhagavatam also, many times these references of the Bhagavad Gita, what was spoken between Krishna and Arjuna, was very detailed we discussed. But today our part is to revise the Bhagavad Gita, which is very, very important for us, and taking a learning lesson from Krishna's message, what he really want to convince, and why he was repeating the messages to us. Correct? So the thing is, having the gyan is important, but implementation's part, vigyan, is more important than getting that knowledge, right? If you get the knowledge and keep it with it yourself, and if you're not trying to execute, then there is no point of reading the Bhagavad Gita many times, because it is not use. But still, at least having that one and implementing in our day-to-day life. Prabhupada also says, I think one very knowledgeable person came, and he was saying, I know this. And Prabhupada says, how much of the knowledge you are implementing in your life? He was pin drop silent. So this is nothing we are discussing. This is from the many acharyas. They are showing by examples. They are reading and they are implementing, and at the same time they are preaching also. Like our Guru Maharaj, they always says, "No, our achar vichar is better, then prachar will be much better." If you practice and perform by your characteristics and your acharan and vicharan, if you show to the others, then when you preach the same thing to your child or to your friends or to a neighbor or to the visitor or to unknown person, then the impact will be high, because you are performing also. How its impact will be high? Because inside your Paramatma will communicate to the other Paramatma on his, that other human being. So that connections will be established very easily. If you are not practicing, you know that the Paramatma knows everything. So with that, let's jump into the Bhagavad Gita. Try in 30-35 minutes, get the summary of the Bhagavad Gita, all the nectars things, right? So as we know, the Bhagavad Gita chapter starts because Arjuna was in the dilemma. He is confused. He This is not the first time he was in the battlefield. Before than that also he fought so many, he won so many battles. But here the challenge was really different, because his own relatives, brothers, Bhishmitama, his own teacher, and many brothers and the relatives were they are standing in front of him. And he was saying that what is the use of fighting this when I'm not going to enjoy this one? What is the benefit of killing so many men? He gave almost 5 or 6 excuses not to fight. But the Krishna, he is inside his as a Paramatma, and now he is standing in front of him. He gave the very valid reasons that, okay, first he said that how this impurities come into your mind, that you are killing your parents, or no, not the parents, your Bhishma Pitama, or killing your guru or things. They already died so many years, so many times. So these impurity, it should not become in your mind. With that, he was explaining that because they are not this body. You are killing the body. You are not killing the soul, and soul cannot be killed. And because he his the bodily composures of the Arjuna was, he was not able to stand. He was not able to hold his that bow and arrow thing. He was just flattened there. Seeing that bodily compactions, and he bewildered so much that, oh, how I can kill, how I can fight in front of my guru. Then Krishna gave very one of the best shlokas which we all remember, 2.13. Dehino smen yatha dehe kaumaram yaumanam jara tatha dehantara prapter dhiras tatra na muhyate. As it says that any embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to the old age, the soul similarly passes from another body at the death. The sober person, who is a sober means dhira person, is not bewildered by such changes. This is very, very important for us also learning. Are we bewildered with the small things, any changes? Answer is yes. If any issues is coming in our house or office or any our personal life or relative, we immediately bewildered, right? That's where the Krishna says that these changes will be there. Yesterday, I was giving the other Bhagavad Gita class for the very beginner peoples. I was giving this example, which I heard in one of the lectures. If you are in the boat and you want to cross the ocean is not going to be very idle and the flat, right? When you are in the boat, you are within with your senior devotees or acharya. We are all sitting there. When the boat will goes ups and down because of the waves, then there is always be point that you have to hold together all the senior acharyas, having the associations of those acharyas, so that you are be stable within the boat. You cannot be take the panicking and jump into the ocean. But ocean is like our maya, all the waves are coming ups and down. Life is not easy. It will be happening because this life is temporary. Dukhalyam. Dukhalyam ashashvatam. It's a full of miseries. We learned so many times. We need to take that one. This misery will be there because Krishna sent us to this Dukhalyam to have the pain, not the enjoyment. But what we think that this enjoyment is the one I want to enjoy because I am earning, I am working like Gadha. Donkey ki tarah I am working day and night to enjoy this. But Krishna's purpose to send you for suffering. But in that suffering, we are trying to find the happiness. And the happiness is always reside with Krishna. Sachit Anand. Anand, he is the giver of the Anand. But away from Krishna, we are trying to find Anand in this Dukhalyam. That's the problem. And which cause the bewilderment. And Krishna's giving the many examples of, because trying to explain Arjuna that this is your body. You are wearing like a cloth. In the 22, Vamsasi Jirnani Yatha Vihaya. As a person put a new garment, giving up the old, the soul similarly accept the new material body, giving up the old and useless one. Right? So if in this birth, if Krishna will come, okay, what kind of body you want? We will pick, okay, this. He is very super smart, like a celebrity. This happens now. Teenagers, they are trying to replicate like a some known personality. Like if Amitabh Bachchan cut his hair, everyone will cut his hair. If he grow his hair, everyone will grow his hair. Right? This is our mentalities. If he cut his completely bald, if Shah Rukh Khan become bald, then I think most of his million families become the followers become bald. That is our mentality. We are trying to replicate कि वो ऐसा कर रहा है तो मुझे भी ऐसे ही करना है. So, but what Krishna says that this is the temporary body. You just getting this human form, but the soul will get the another body after you will leave this one. And in chapter number 3, Krishna was again further thing is, whatever your the job responsibilities, whatever you are going to perform, you have to sacrifice, you have to give it and offer it to Vishnu. What was that shloka we learn? Yagnartha karmano nitra loko ham karma bandhana tad artham karma kaunteya Mukta Sangha Samachara. So, whatever the work we do, whatever the sacrifice we do, is all for the Vishnus. But this is what we think. When we do any yagna or sacrifice, we think that, oh, I did it first of all. I want to take full credit of that one. And then on top of that, what we want is in the return of this one, भगवान मैंने आपके लिए यज्ञ कर दिया, बहुत बड़ा काम कर दिया, अब मुझे क्या मिलेगा इसके बदले में. That is our mentality. That is our majority of the people mentality is we want to do something in return of something. So, but what Krishna says is whatever the work we do, it has to offer to Vishnu. That is our yagna. Otherwise, what happened? The work caused the bondage. And we are so much attached to this material world. And Krishna doesn't want this one. Krishna doesn't want you to be attached to this material world for the temporary thing. That's why the Krishna says the perform your prescribed duty for his satisfactions. His means the Lord, Supreme Lord satisfactions. In that way, you will never remain in the material world and free from the bondage. That is our duty, right? And now in the chapter number 3, again Krishna was saying that whatever, if you show by your example when you say that as a father, right? If you do the devotional service very sincerely, you will set an example for your son or your daughter or your wife or your other family members, but you have to show as an like example in our office, right? Not everyone are very perfect leaders. We know that. There are some people you ask them to lead, they will say no 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 प्रभु जी अपने को तो यही सही चल रहा है, फालतू का क्यों टेंशन दे रहे हो फालतू का. It happens because not everyone are leader. But in our house, I think I have multiple times says that father should be taking the lead there. Father should be taking the responsibility to go back to Godhead, how they can teach to their childrens, and the children will teach. Whatever you do, the children will learn from the father, then it will pass it on to another. That's our process, right? Bhagavad Gita in the beginning, it says that this knowledge is coming from the parampara. So in chapter 3, Krishna says that the chapter 3, the Karma Yoga, it says that Yad Yad Archati Seshta Tad Evataro Janaha Saha Yad Pramana Kurute Lokas Tad Evatartate Anuvartate. Whatever the action great man perform, common man follows. And whatever the standard he sets by exemplary acts, all the world pursues. So as a father, you should be become that person, the great man, so that everyone should follow you. So similarly, in the chapter 3, in the Karma Yoga, Krishna says that we are, one of the shlokas I think we remember, Praktehe kriyamanani gunehe karmani sarvasha ahankara vibhudatma kartaham iti manyate. The spirit soul, bewildered by the influence of the false ego, thinks himself the doer of the activity that's are in actually carried out by three mode of material natures. So it's very, very clearly mentioned that one. Whatever the action you perform, because of our false ego, we want to take the credit of that one. Once you will take the credit, you will be the bondage. But whatever the activity you are performing, these are all in the three modes. We will learn a little bit more about the three modes in the later chapters. So Krishna is very clearly mentioned in the chapter 3 Karma Yoga is whatever the action, karma you are performing, you have to offer it to the Vishnu. And in the same chapters, we learn about the sakarma, akarma, and vikarma also. We won't go in the much detail, but we are trying to be always in the akarma. Akarma is the person who follow the shastras, who follow the guru, who follow the all the instructions given by the guru, right? All other things are the people in the vikarma. Sometimes they will be in the akarma, vikarma, but our focus is completely on akarma, where our focus is always follow our guru. And follow the Guru means because the instructions are coming from the Shastras. Whatever the Guru will say, we have to follow. Those and the continuations of the three is jump into the chapter 4 is the transcendental knowledge. Krishna says that I come to this planet paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya ch dushkrita. At the same time, he will vinash also he is going to do, but at the same time, he is giving this knowledge to us. But Arjuna was so fortunate that Krishna is standing in front of him. But we are not fortunate, but we have only the Vanis. Krishna's Vani is there, our Guru Vani is there, Prabhupada Vani is there, so many Goswamis Vani and their commentary is there, so that what we have to take, as it is, we have to take. And implement in our life. As I in the beginning I was saying, the Gyan versus Vigyan. Gyan is good. We have to have a knowledge, but implementation is more better. Correct? So, as an example of gopis, they are not Gyanis, but they are best executors. They know how to love Krishna. We have to take some of the characteristics, some of their activities, how they perform, why the Krishna is more attracted to the gopis or gopas. So Krishna says that evam parampara praptam. He was giving the parampara thing because Arjuna wants to know that one. This knowledge is coming from the sun god and further down. But at the same time, Krishna is saying that importance of Guru. In the same chapter, he says, Tad vidhi pranipatena pariparsnena seveya. Upadeshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshina. So we have to have a spiritual master who is in this parampara. Is not like any randomly you can pick the guru. Oh, look like बहुत अच्छा बोलता है तो अरे सुपर है, बहुत अच्छा ड्रेसिंग सेंस है इसको और ये सब चीजें है, बोलता अच्छा है. But our part is we need to find that is he is in that parampara, is he follow the same his guru, then we have to pick that one. And similarly, if he is a genuine guru in the parampara, he will evaluate that you are my best disciple or you are qualified to become my best disciple. So both way is the connections. It's not like oh today अपना fancy type है, इस year इसको गुरु रखते हैं, next year दूसरे को रखते हैं. ये नहीं होता है. In the spiritual, in our Sanatan Dharma, in the parampara, when you take the guru, he is your guru. Correct? अपने को पसंद नहीं आएगा तो कल चेंज कर देंगे. ये कोई ऐसा कॉस्को का आइटम थोड़ी ना है कि रिसिप्ट रखा है 3 महीने के अंदर चेंज हो जाएगा. राइट? सो गुरु इज गुरु. दिस लाइफ टाइम, once you take the shelter of the guru means he will take the responsibility to take you back to the Godhead. And as a disciple, our responsibility to follow the instruction proactively, not like he will say something. As we discussed one of the example, there are 3 type of disciple. One is उसको जो बोलते हैं वो वही करता है, और सेकंड इज वर्स्ट केस उसको बोलते हैं वो फिर भी नहीं करता है. And the third is, without telling him anything, he is so proactive that he know what my guru wants. So we want to be in the proactive stage to become that, always be very proactively, always listening, always trying to see that what guru wants based off of his instruction. So now, after the chapter number transcendental knowledge, again we will come back to the karma yoga in Krishna consciousness, chapter number 5. In the chapter number 5, Krishna is giving more further on the karma yoga and how you will perform your devotional service. One of the shlokas he says that Bhoktaram Yagna Tapasam. No, sorry, I forgot one shlokas. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavi Hastini Sunicheva Swapakeja Pandita Samadarchana. In the Karma Yoga, Krishna is giving the qualities of the Brahmanas, quality of that personality who can think that a cow, elephant, Brahmanas, or the dog eater, everyone is the same. Why Krishna is touching this point here? Because he was re-emphasizing that everyone has the Paramatma. Everyone has the spirit soul, and the Paramatma is sitting inside the dog, elephant, cow eater. So as a spiritual person, as a disciple of any guru, or as a the devotee, our consciousness is everyone is equal. If you go back like 30, 40 years back, now I think still some places, the Shudra, all the four Varna ashram, right? Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. We treat Shudra so badly. We never allow them to come close to our house. They have their own separate jhopdi or a small hut where they will, if whenever they will visit, you will put the food in that place so that they can eat. He will only do the your kheti badi kaam and the farming thing, cleaning thing, and those kind of activities. That Shudra they will be thinking. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that in Kali Yuga, we all are Shudras. Until we will elevate ourselves, until we will practice our and build that Brahmanas qualities. If we don't do that one, then we all are in the category of Shudras. Because Shudra is who work for others. Is anyone in this group is not working for others? We work for multiple managers. We work for at the home. We work for many people for some money, right? We go to the job and get the money and we work for them. So if we work for money means we are Shudras. But as a quality, as a devotee's quality is always be thinking everyone is Samanta, Samadarshina. The Pandita Samadarshina. So now Krishna is talking about chapter in the fame, Krishna Karma Yoga. Bhoktaram Yagna Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwara Shrudheyam Sarva Bhutanam Jnanatmam Santim Rachati. A person in full consciousness of me, knowing me to be the ultimate benefactory of all the sacrifice and austerities, the Supreme Lord of all planet and demigod and the benefactors, and the well-wisher of all living entity attain the peace from pang of material miseries. So here one again Krishna is repeating that same karma yoga thing here is if you are always in full consciousness and sacrifice all your austerity. That's the same shloka we read there is what is that? All the Yagnartha Karmano Nitra. Sarva Loka Maheshwara, right? So that's Yagnartha Karma Nitra Loko Am Karma Bandhana Tad Artham Karma Kaunteya Mukta Sangha Samachara. So all the material attachments, it will be free of when you offer your activity to Vishnu. So similarly, here also Krishna is saying that when you offer everything and remember me in full consciousness, then you will be free from the material miseries. That is important. So, here, so far in the chapter 5, Krishna is talking about our sacrifice, our duties, our part of the devotional service, connecting with the spiritual master. In the chapter number 6, in Dhyan Yoga, Krishna is in the entire shlokas, he was giving the so many different way how you can meditate, and you should be in the isolated place, you are sitting on the kusha grass, deer screen, your all the back and the forth and everything has to be very straight. And so many technique he was talking about. And the end what he says, out of all the yogis, one with the great faith and who always abide in me, think of me within himself and render the transcendental service. He is the most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. That is my opinion. Right? So that shloka is yoginam api sarvesham mat gatenantar atmana shraddhavam bhajate yomam some yukta tamomata. So it's not, Krishna is not saying that you don't have to be in the meditation state, but meditation state is thinking of him. The people are having the meditations, different type of meditations are there, different yogas are there now. The people want to perform for bodily concept. Oh, मैं अगर meditate करता हूँ तो मेरे को bodily बड़ा अच्छा लगा है. Very nice. That अच्छा is only temporary. Once you will open your eyes and go, you will back to the same normal stage. But what Krishna is saying is, when you meditate, always think of me within your himself, right? and render the service, transcendental loving service to me, then that yoga is the topmost, highest of all the yogas. That is what the Krishna's opinion. And now the very Mayavadi, other transcendentalist, and other communicator, all the other speakers, they are twisting these words. They say, oh, Krishna already gave the chapter 6. Or you can do the meditations sitting on the kusha grass. They never read the entire chapter thoroughly, but they will start preaching that, okay, Bhagavad Gita already says the Dhyan Yoga is a recommended solution in this Kali Yuga also. So that interpretations is very, very bad. And now in the chapter number 7, Krishna is giving very core informations about who are the person who is achieve me or who will come to me very easily. And Krishna says, out of thousands men, one may endeavor for perfection. Shloka number 7.3. And those who achieve the perfection, hardly one know me in truth. Manushya nam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhaye yatatam api siddhanam kaschin mam veti tatvata. And now, not sure that we are among the still thousand people, thousands. We are trying our best to reach that level. But as per the Krishna, out of thousands and thousands, people will reach, many of them they will reach to the perfection. But only one person will be know in me in the truth. Why that happening? Because the people will be not focus on the instructions, because they are not remembering Krishna. Like in what it says in the thing is, you have to always, he didn't say that only Sundays. In the previous shloka, Yogi Nam, the word he says that who always abide in me, always thinking of me. But our activity is we will give out of how many hours we have in a week? 168 hours and 1440 something minutes in our 1 week, 1 day maybe. 1 day, that many minutes are there. But how many minutes out of 1440 something minutes, how many minutes we are giving for Krishna? Out of 168 hours, how many hours we are giving to Krishna? We have to evaluate ourselves daily basis before going to the bed. Oh, Krishna says, always remember me. But we don't have time. In weekly basis, we will give very difficult way में भाई 2 घंटे बहुत हो गया, right? But how we can practice, how we can bring ourselves in that mood, that as soon you will get up, your mood says, oh, आज बड़ा अच्छा दिन है, आज तो definitely I want to do 16 round in one shot. क्या हमारा mind बोलता है ऐसे? Does it ever happen? Mind? नहीं. It's difficult है. Because this is Kali Yuga. Mind is hankering for all the things. People in the lectures, most of the time we notice that sitting for half an hour or 45 minutes, they want multiple cushions and everything, and water and things. If you put in the movies, अभी पुष्पा 2 कुछ आया, कोई बोल रहे हैं 3.5 घंटे का है, they won't have any pain. They will sit for 3 hours. No yawning, nothing, no thirstiness, everything is super. Correct? ऐसा है. मैं just I'm not trying to pick the अभी recent movie, कोई publicity नहीं हो रहा है इधर. But the point is, it doesn't matter it's a 1 hour, 3 hour or 5 hour or entire 8 hour. You won't complain that I have back pain. You will enjoy, and might you will finish like 1 kg of popcorn along with that. The thing is, our material hankering, if you see that my hankering is more towards this one and not this, means still lot of the work has to be done, right? So with that, and Krishna was telling Chaturvidha bhajante mam in the same chapter number 7, that how, which are the 4 people will come to me and what are the 4 people never come to me. We won't go into much detail, but he says these details, right? One of the thing is who is in the miseries, all the difficult time he will go there. And the second is always go for some business deals, and third is the inquisitive person, and the fourth is the one who really want to get into the devotional service. And now is our part as a self evaluation, where I'm standing. Is this I'm only going for the miseries, or I'm going for inquisitive, oh what is going on kind of thing? Or the fourth is, do I really want the devotional service? But these four people, Krishna is the good part is he appreciated at least this birth or many many birth, this person will come back to me. That is the one. And in the chapter number 8, attaining the supreme. And now the Krishna is giving the very good methods or approach how you can attain me. Krishna says that Antakale cha mameva smaran mukta kalevaram yaha prayati samad bhavam yati nasti atra samsaya. And whoever at the end of the life quit his body remembering me alone at once attain my nature. Of this there is no doubt. Is a kind of guarantee that whoever quit his body and remember Krishna. But if you are in the movies mode all the time, you remember movies, not the Krishna that time. पुष्पा 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 ऐसा चलेगा, right? But अगर हम लोगों ने कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा किया, then you remember Hare Krishna. And Krishna, the beauty of that, Prabhupada says that Krishna will come and remind you. He chant Hare Krishna in your ears. That is the beauty of Krishna. And he wants that you should not come back to this miserable life, to go through the same ABCD से लेकर के पूरा suffering. Krishna wants that you should come back to my place. Again, he was saying, whatever the state of being one remember when he quit his body, O son of Kunti, that this he will attain without any fail. Then again, he was guaranteeing that one, whatever the state. Now, here the point is the Prabhupada says the people will be thinking, oh, I love my God, and next uh, birth, I want to become a dog. Then he will become a dog. Whatever the state of the mind you remember at the time of the body, Krishna says, Tathastu. You will become the dog. If you want become this or that, whatever you want, that state, if you remember, you will get. But if you think, Krishna, I don't care, na dhanam na janam na sundarim, kavitam vaishvakamahe mama janmani janmani. After birth, I want to perform the devotional service. Please engage me in your service. If that is your mindset, then Krishna says, you doesn't belong to this Dukhalayam. Please come back to my own house, permanent house. That is the what Krishna is saying. And attaining the Supreme, Krishna says, from the highest planet in this material world down to the lowest planet, all the places are miseries. Krishna is telling very clearly, if you want to go to Swargalok, again there is a miseries. Then you have to come back to this Dukhalayam. And then you have to again take birth. That's what he is telling. And now in the chapter number 9, Krishna is start sharing the most confidential knowledge. Krishna says the Raj Vidya Rajuguyam. This knowledge is king of educations. The most secret of all secret is the purest of the knowledge. And because it is direct perceptions of the self by realizations. It is perfections of religions, it is everlasting and is joyfully performed. How many times we joyfully chant, dancing and chanting in one room? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल माला पकड़ते वक्त ही पूरा जान ही निकल जाता है, कहाँ से जॉयफुल आएगा? अरे बाप रे, आज फिर करना है ये, ऐसा होता है. बट कृष्णा सेज डिफरेंटली. ही वाज सेइंग दैट दिस नॉलेज इज everlasting and it has to be performed joyfully. So another, Krishna talk about if one, and now in the confidential knowledge, Krishna making very easy for our life. If one offer me just water, I will be happy. But the water when you offer, it has to be with love and devotion. If you offer me with the love and devotion, a leaf, flower, fruits, or water, patram pushpam phalam toyam, I will accept it. But your love should be there. It's very, very nice. This one is, and the Krishna also in the confidential knowledge, Krishna says, I am not envy of anyone. I love everyone equally. In one of the lecture, Amrendra Prabhu says that Krishna never do mistakes. He loved everyone and he was not partial to anyone. He equally treat if he's a dog eater or is a devotional thing. For him, because we are part and parcel of Krishna, he treat equally. He will give opportunity to everyone. Same. I am not envy of anyone, nor I am partial to anyone. I am equal to to all, but whoever render the service unto me in devotion is my friend, and he is within me, and I am also friend of him. Samo aham sarva bhuteshu. That's the shlok. And now Krishna give very formula that how you can come to me very easily, and he is giving the guarantee. What are the four things he is asking in chapter number 9? Anyone remember? Four thing if you perform. Yes, Mataji. Kiran Mataji also raising the hand. What are the four things if you do just simple those four things? His surety, guaranteed is there.
Manmana.
Manmana madbhadbhakto madhya jivam namaskuru. Mam evashyasi yuktvemam atmanah mat prayanah. Engage your mind always in thinking of me. First, always thinking of me is the process of chanting. Become my devotee, offer your obeisance and worship me. It's look like, oh, चारों तो बड़ा मुश्किल है, एक तो कर सकते हैं या ये दो कर सकते हैं. Yeah, you can pick one of them. Do sincerely. Then automatically other three will come slowly to you. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. Krishna is not saying that might be, I believe you will come to me. No, he's saying that surely, no doubt you will come to me. We have to practice. This life is so precious, so valuable. We have to take this birth and this opportunity that Krishna is giving us, this opportunity that we are in so one of the best country with all the opulences and all the benefit. And now also if you don't take it, then there is no guarantee that next birth will be in some third world country and you are suffering. And maybe you won't get the association of devotees. Correct? And in the chapter number 10, Krishna says, and the chapter number 10 is called as the opulences of the absolute. In Parsura Muni, in the first chapter, the chapter number 10, shloka number 1, in Purport Prabhupada mentioned that Parsura Muni clearly given that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead based on six opulences: strength, full fame, wealth, knowledge, beauty, and renunciations. Krishna has all the six, and he is shown that six opulences when he was present physically there in Dwapar Yuga. And Parsura Muni giving these things. That one, these are the six opulences. No one can have it, right? We can have some Ambani or some other rich people. Maybe he has, uh, I think, more money, but maybe they don't have much fame. They don't have strength. They may not have knowledge. They are not beautiful, right? Some are very beautiful, but they don't have money or power. So not everyone has all the six. And in Bhagavad Puran, we learn that these opulences like infinite, but Parshurama Muni is discussing only the six of them. And now Krishna in the chapter 10, opulences, he was talking that everything belongs to him. I am the source of all spiritual, material world, and everything emanate from me only. He was giving many examples in the chapter 10. Oh, my light is me, moon is me, sun is this. Everything he was giving. The wise person perfectly know and engaged me in devotional service. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matah sarvam pravartate. That is right. So that is important. So we need to understand that everything comes from him. We are counting our each breath each second, each hours is all belongs to him. But our mentality says no, 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 ये तो अपना है, senses है, अपने को enjoy करना है. But what Krishna says that everything is coming from me, right? And he says in very clearly, the wise person always engage in my devotion service and worship me with all their hearts. The wise person, he says. If you are not doing it, then there is no way of saying that I am wise. Similarly, in the chapter number 11, the universal form, Krishna showing the universal form, but at the same is a request of the Arjuna. Arjuna says that I heard, I saw so many activity. Now you mentioned that everything emanate from him. Then can you show me that things? When he was start showing, and if you read the purport, is Prabhupada says that so much of that when we see the one.
You got muted, Prabhu.
Oh, sorry. Okay, is my bad. मेरा हाथ लग गया उधर. Sorry. So when the Arjuna asked about his universal form, and that form is like the how much of the light you are going to see, because it's talking about thousands of the sunlight. Here, one sun's come at the daytime is very difficult to see with our own eyes directly to the sun. And now we are talking about the thousands of the suns. And Krishna says that to Arjuna, you don't have that eyes to see that things. So he gave the spiritual eyes, and so that he can see that so many thousands and thousands of asura, demon, and everything is, some of them they are going inside the fire, some of them are like all the demigods, everything is described in that universal form. So similarly, once having that thing is again is benefit for us to show as one of the example what we learn in our Bhagavad Puran, that entire thing is reside in his universal form, right? We from the navel above the seven planet and the below are the seven planet. We learned recently, right? It was mentioned about the Maitreya Muni and the Vidura. The discussions were coming back. So similarly now Arjuna is able to see everything. So now, after the universal form, Krishna is again coming back to the chapter number 12 with the topic is devotional service. In devotional service, one who neither rejoice nor grieve. Here the Krishna is talking about the dualities. Because the dualities we learn in the chapter 2 or 3 also. Krishna was mentioning the wise person, sober person, not bewildered by the happiness or the sorrow. The both the cases he is very much calm. Can we do that? Can we have that kind of practice? अरे कोई किसी ने, I gave you that example of lottery, right? Someone call, भाई तुम्हारा इतना $1 million लॉटरी हो गया. फिर भाई आदमी खुशी के मारे he can't able to handle that happiness. He start throwing the party. After 1 week the call came back. Oh, sorry, is our buy bad? This was not the same so and so person, is the different person. आदमी तो अपने आप सुसाइड ही कर लेगा ऐसे में. So in the both the cases, we have to balance. We have to be sober. We have to live in the reality. We should not be like rejoice. That's what the Krishna says in devotional service. One who neither rejoice nor grieve, who neither lament nor desire, and who renounce both auspicious and inauspicious thing, such devotee is very dear to me. Again, Krishna is revealing that one who is so dear to him. We should not be bewildered. We have to practice. That practice is only come not by isolating yourself. You have to associate with the devotees. When you associate with the senior devotees, because they already practice it. If you tell them, उनके पास जा करके आप अपनी कोई दुखरे सुनाओ, कोई भी दुख वाली बात, तो he will try to see what is the solution, how I can guide him. He won't be okay, आप दुखी हो तो मैं भी दुखी हो गया, ऐसा नहीं करते वो. If you have an opportunity and go to some person, like recently we have Rukmani Krishna Prabhu, and so many people were having the discussions. But did you see that he bewildered by the things? I spoke to him that opportunity 10-15 minutes. But the thing is, when you reach out to these, what is that, Shaktavesh avatars, these people are already saw the truth. They know that there will be a difficulties, there will be a miseries will be there in our life, but we should not be bewildered. And they know that if I bewildered, Krishna won't like me. And if I will be have that dhira mode, then it will be easy because the life is changing. As I say that, right, dehi no smin yatha dehe kaumaram yomanam jara. So that shloka very clearly says that we have to become like a sober person. In chapter number 13, is Krishna is talking about, the chapter name is the nature, the enjoyer, and the consciousness. There are two things very clearly Krishna mentions. The qualities of the things. The first of all, the entire chapter is who is the enjoyer and what is the nature and what should be our consciousness. There is a one important thing is talk in our shloka number, our I think in the beginning and the 12. I will only focus on one thing, is qualities of the devotees. The person should be humility. In the shloka number I think 12 to 12, 8 to 12 is clearly mentioned that the person should be humility, pridelessness, non-violence, tolerance, simplicity, approaching the spiritual master, cleanliness, steadiness, self control, renunciations of the object of sense gratifications, absence of false ego. So these are the qualities is Krishna is mentioning, that person who achieve this one, who practice to get these qualities, will be in the topmost level. That is important. And the chapter number 14, it says, Sarva Yoneshu Kanteya. That is the shloka number 4 of chapter 14. It should be understood that all the species of the life, O son of Kunti, are made possible by birth in this material nature, and I am the seed giving father. Krishna says, and this is the one of the proof that how we says that we are part and parcel, and Krishna is clearly giving that the all the species of the life. He is not saying all the only the human being. Krishna says that all the living entities in this, in the any of the planets, I am the seed giving father. That's why we are keep always says that we are part and parcel of Krishna. And Krishna says that one who engage in full devotion service, unfailing in all circumstances, at one transcend the mode of the material natures and thus come to the level of Brahman. So now Krishna is very much, I think I see one hand. Yes, Amit Prabhu.
I kind of like this. Going back, like I remember I got some discussion earlier also, but this is more of like from material perspective or all. So you see, like, okay, we say like the soul never dies, never destroys, it's never born. And then we say like, okay, the super soul is there. And then we say like we are parts and parcel of the super soul. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So
how come
no,
that
no, no.
the soul cannot be
Let's,
one?
yeah, Amit Prabhu, let's keep this one at the end. We will discuss. There is a very clear differentiation. We are our own spirit soul. We are one entity. When we are talking about the Paramatma or the super soul, he is the Paramatma always residing. But we will discuss that one. Why we are saying this, the maybe sometime confusing, but these two are completely two different items, right? So as a spirit soul, we are based on our karmas and the activity, we are liable to come and in this dukhalyam. But Paramatma is always be there to guide us, right? So we need to understand, but we will discuss that one. Let 2 3 more chapters, few things. Krishna, what is the core message from this chapter, and then we will at the end we will come. So in the chapter number 4, again Krishna is discussing the devotion service. If you count that Krishna is repeated that do or engage in the devotion service many times, it's not he was just making fun that okay मैं devotion चिपका देता हूं, वैसा नहीं है. He knows that once you will get engaged into the devotional service, your life will change. And now, in the chapter number 15th, the yoga of the Supreme Person. What Krishna is saying is the living entity in this conditional world is my eternal fragmental parts. Due to the conditional life, they are struggling very hard with the senses, which include the minds, the six senses he was talking about. So, Krishna is clearing again, you are my fragmental part. Why he's saying fragmental part is when entire thing is annihilated, this entire history will be go away, then we all merge into the Krishna. But when we merge is not like we जैसे एक डिब्बे से घी निकाला दूसरे से निकाला और एक बर्तन में डाल के उबाल दिया तो सभी घी हो गया, ऐसा नहीं है. We still hold that individual identity of our soul. When everything is annihilated, when everything will go back, we will get and submerge into that thing, but we still hold our identity. We are still our spirit soul. We are not like, okay, going to the new. But once the Srishti will create again by Brahma, then based on that karmas of the past karmas, you will get the body. We always hold our real identity, original identity, but we are part of that body. Krishna also giving this one. In many of the places, Krishna mentioned that one. You are part of this one. You are my seed giving thing, but you are holding your original identity. Correct. So that is the one Krishna is telling this one. But in this material world, we are struggling because of our senses. And Krishna says that now this one might clarify your sarvasya chaham hirdi sunivasto. The same chapter 15th, Krishna says that I am seated in everyone's hearts, and from me comes the remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas, I am to be the known. Indeed, I am the compiler of the Vedas, and I am knower of the Veda. So, reading all the Shastras, at the end, the conclusion has to be to know Krishna. Because the remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness, Krishna is monitoring, giving, because he is seated in our everyone's heart as a Paramatma. We are a Jivatma, he is a Paramatma. They both hold the different identities, is not the same. But Krishna is sitting there so that he can keep on guiding us. Right? And Prabhupada gave the example of the two birds sitting on the tree, and the one bird is always busy eating all the fruits of the tree, but he never get a chance to look into the other bird who is sitting next to him. That is our condition. We wants to enjoy that the fruits of tree. This is material world, but when you start enjoying away from Krishna, you have to have some suffering, you will have some pains, and during that process you will do some sinful activity, and that activity will accumulate your sin, and based on the sin and your past karmas, then you have to suffer. And in chapter number 16th, which is called as the divine and the demonic nature. And here Krishna is talking about who are the people who have the saintly qualities and who are the people who have the demonic qualities. As we discuss about the saintly qualities is, he is, you can read those shloka 1 to 3, but I will focus today is the demonic qualities. The demonic qualities says is pride, arrogance, conceit, anger, harshness, ignorance. And these quality belongs to those demons, O son of Partha. And now most of this in the material world we are suffering because of we are keep on building these activities. And Krishna says in 18th shloka of the chapter 16th, bewildered by the false ego, strength, pride, lust, and anger, the demon become envious of the supreme persons. And Krishna says that those who are envious and mischievous, who are the lowest among the men, I perpetually cast into the ocean of material existence, and he will make sure that that will person will come back here. And again, Krishna was talking about in sloka number 21, he says that there are the three gates leading to the hell. What are those three? Lust, anger, and greed. Every sane, every man should give up these three qualities, and they lead to the degradation of the soul. If you follow this one, try to focus on some qualities which Krishna is clearly says that these are the demon qualities. Like most of us, angerness is very common, right? We see everywhere. Ignorance is another one. Arrogance or the pride, these are the demons quality. What will happen? Krishna guarantee here that you will come back to this dukhalem again if you have these demon qualities. And the next, immediately he will say, if you have lust, anger, and greed, you are guaranteed that you are going to hellish life. So we have to be very, very careful when we are on this path of the devotional service and trying to become a best devotees. We have to avoid, if you have, I think I have some of the qualities. I'm always focused so that we should not be getting into this one, right? So now Krishna in the chapter 17th, he says that division of the faith. The men in the mode of goodness worship the demigods. Those in the mode of passion worship demons. And those in the mode of ignorance worship ghost and spirit. And this is the shloka is Yajante Sarvatika Devan. Is the shloka number 4. Krishna is clearly mentioning this one. And the same chapter, Krishna is giving more detail about austerity of this body, austerity of speech, and how we can, the person in the mode of pure goodness, he always be in satisfied mode. Whatever he will get, he will be enjoying. Now, chapter number 18. Chapter number 18 is pretty big. It has lot of details. With the time I'm looking, we already exceeded, but we started a little late also. So in the chapter 18, Krishna is very, very clear now. He is repeating what he said so far in chapter number 17. He is repeating because he wants us to remember everything. He says in the shloka number 54, one who is thus transcendental situated at once realize the supreme Brahman and fully joyful, he never lament or desire to have anything. He is equally disposed towards every living entities. Again, he repeated what? Vidya Vinaya Sampanne, that shlokas. He is equal to every living entities. If you see that Paramatma is sitting in everyone's heart, then your consciousness is there is a Paramatma. Maybe he's a dog eater, maybe he is Brahmana, or he's a cow or dog or elephant. He is having Samanta. Equally, he will be looking. And in 55, Krishna says, one can understand me as I am, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by the only mode of devotional service. There is no other way you can understand me. You can have all four Vedas you learn, but if you don't perform by loving devotional service, you cannot understand Krishna. And when one fully consciousness of me, again he is repeating that fully consciousness of me, by devotion, he enter into the kingdom of God. That's very, very easy. Clearly mentioned again. This 18th chapter is again is look like summary chapter or the second, but this is a more detailed version of summary. Krishna is repeating what we just learned from chapter number 7, 8, and 9. And in 61, Krishna says, the Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart. O Arjuna, they're directing the wandering of all living entity who are seated at on the machine made up of the material energy. This is again, this is more philosophical details. We need to go through the more example, but this is what Krishna says that I am situated in everyone's heart. And in the conclusion of this chapter, chapter 18, Krishna says, again repeating chapter number 9, the shloka 34, Manmana mad bhakto madhya jivam namaskuru. Mam evashyasi satyam te Prati jane priyo asimi. Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer your obeisance. Thus you will come back to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. So powerful, so nice actually. Why Krishna has to repeat this? Because we are Mudha. I am Mudha person. One time एक बार बोलने से समझ ही नहीं आता है. And Krishna wants to remind us, do this simple four thing. And he promising. Krishna's promises is like a more than guarantee. He says that you will come to me without fail and I promise you because you are my dear friend. And in 66, Krishna says final conclusion. He says, abandon all variety of religions and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction. You don't have to fear. Sarva dharmam parityagya mamekam sharanam vaja. So nice again. This shloka is giving the all the guarantee and the proof that just don't wondering about all the different things, demigod here and there. Just surrender and follow that full process. Always think of me. Man mana mat bad bhakto. After saying all this thing, what Arjuna says after listening to this everything, what was his comments? Anyone? And think that you are Arjuna. And now you are going to tell Krishna after hearing everything. And many times we word used like a devotional service and always remember me. What would be your answer after hearing this? Okay, let me ask Karthik.
So Arjuna says, I have lost, Nashto Moha.
Yeah, Nasto Moha Smrit Labdha. What he says, O infallible one, my illusion is gone now. Is that clear? Is Karthik, your illusion is gone now? He's laughing. Huh, Karthik? We are practicing from many, many years. Our illusion is not gone. We bewilder very easily. I have regained my memory, Arjuna says. By your mercy, I am now very firm and free from doubt and prepared to act according to your instructions. When was that day will come when very boldly we will say this sentence? My illusion is gone, I regain my memory, and now I am free from the doubts, and now I will do as per your instructions. Is there any day will come? If it is not, then we are uh, what is it? दुर्भाग्य ये हमारा मतलब is we are unfortunate that we are getting this birth and we waste it for sense gratifications. Entire year, no matter, I think we all live more than 100 years. But whatever the years we live is only for our sense gratification. But Krishna giving this opportunity many times, but we are not able to take it. And after listening to this, what Sanjay said, last shloka of the chapter 18.
Yatra Yogeshu.
Yatra Yogeshu, right? And that's the painful description for King Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra was now lamenting more. Before he was not lamenting, he saw that okay, Krishna, Arjuna is lamenting, now war is our side. Now after hearing this, Sanjay says, wherever there is a Krishna, the master of all mystic, and wherever there is a Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will also certainly be opulences, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. That is my opinion. Now, Sanjay's opinion after hearing the same Bhagavad Gita, what Arjuna was hearing. He was hearing the conversation between the two great personalities. But now his last comment for Dhritarashtra is wherever Krishna is there. So now choice is our. Do you want Krishna in your side? Do you want your illusion to be gone? Do you want to be having your mental things, man mana bad bad bhakto? Always remember him. If we have that kind of mentality, definitely you will be the victory. Our victory is after leaving this body, we should not get another body. Yeah, spiritual body is okay, but not any materialistic body. We should be finally go back to Godhead. That is our mode. So with that, I will pause here and we will take the questions.